This is my Seax. I made it and I made the sheath. The knife itself, I really do like this. I really like Seaxes. Seaxes are the root of the word Saxon, meaning man of the Sax. That's a early medieval weapon. Dark Ages, I suppose, if you really insist. And there is a lot of myths and mythology about the Seax. This wasn't the only style of knife. I've read stuff recently saying this was the only style of knife they had in that period. It's just not true. The Seax itself, okay, it's a brokeback Seax, came in so many different styles. There are some that look like early Bowie knives. There's an incredible variety of the Seax. The other nonsense spoken is that they weren't decorative. Well, of course they were. The Staffordshire Hoard proves that. There's enormous parts for the handles. Also, they were a warrior's weapon. Of course, it's going to be highly decorated. You'd probably have one that you could get covered in blood and bits of enemy, but you'd also have a one for dressing up in best, if you could afford it. Now, this used to be a machete, and I chopped it up with an angle grinder. Is that making a knife? Well, this used to be a machete. This Seax didn't exist. Now it does. As far as I'm concerned, it's knife making. I haven't got a forge. My workshop facilities basically consist of a stool with a vice on it in the garden, because I haven't got a shed, indeed. So, it wasn't actually that difficult. You can see, obviously, it's still fairly crappy machete blade here. Little decorative bit that I put on just because I tried to. Bit of jimping, because I was trying to learn how to cut jimping, and I fancied it. And a little bit on there. Gives you a nice grip for little sort of smaller work, if need be. 5,000-year-old bog oak handle. That's quite nice, isn't it, on a stainless steel Seax? And these pins actually follow the line of the original handle, and because I did it in a bit of a rush without planning or thinking, these are actually carbide drill bits. So it's a mixture of sort of old and new and very, very old, but it's still a Seax. Whoa, come on, and I like it. I like this a lot. The other learning process with this was this file work. Now, I think what you need to do, if you're going to try any kind of file work, is actually just visualise what you're doing, first of all, and don't change your mind about the pattern halfway through. That's really, really, really not a good idea. See how that wood actually changes colour? It's really nice, isn't it? Kind of brown to black and whatever. Follows to a degree the line of the original handle. But I really, really like it. I made it. I'm very, very, very proud of it. It's quite a chunky weapon, fairly chunky grip, but that's how I wanted it, to be honest. It was made for me and my hands. This decorative bit here went a bit wrong, frankly. That's almost better, but not quite. That was basically a Dremel with a round bit on it that I just pressed on and then drilled some bits in. The sheath, okay, it's the first go I had at leatherworking. Doesn't look too bad from there. Nice aged bit of leather. Unfortunately, yes, that's not quite so neat, or indeed straight. But and these are a bit wobbly. That one there and that one there, and these are curtain rings. But it is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the favourite knives that I own, mostly because I made most of it. Well, I made all of it, actually. Let's try and do that the other way around. That fits in, holds the knife in, holds it in there quite nicely, actually. I'm quite pleased with that as well. The sheath took quite a while, and I'm not exactly ecstatic with the results, but the result is this, and generally I'm pleased with it. I like this. I've got a couple of other Seaxes. We will look at those later, just for comparison. But this, I like. I like it a lot. It's mine. I made it. I feel a sort of connection to it, a sort of rather medieval fashion. Come on, enemy people. Hack, hack, hack. Saxons, Visigoths. I like it. I like it a lot. It's mine, and I made it. You could argue whether it was made or not. We've had that debate, and as far as I'm concerned, it's entirely fatuous. I haven't got a forge. I can't forge. I don't know how to. I can use an angle grinder. Although that scar in there is a result of misusing an angle grinder on this very knife. So do be careful. Angle grinders are brilliant. And you can make some really nice things, or you can adapt or fashion some quite nice things. As I said, I like this as a Seax. I think it's nice. It's got a reasonable amount of weight to it. Reasonable size. Being a blade length of, what have we got there? 17 centimetres. And nearly 7 inches. Cutting edge a bit shorter. What I would like to do is with my Dremel, is reprofile this slightly. I think this might be the ideal ideal thing to try it on. Or I might just buy another cheap machete and try and make another knife out of it, frankly. Yes, that's my Seax. One of several I own. We'll look at the rest of them later on.